Chosen one, this is about your real family. Tomorrow, everything changes. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when the veil of ordinary life begins to tear. When the sound of your soul gets too loud to ignore, and the truth, long buried beneath years of misunderstanding, misplacement, and silent struggle, rises to the surface like a trumpet in the heavens. This is that moment for you. This isn't just a story about your roots. This is a divine revelation about your real family, your destined lineage. And tomorrow, everything begins to change in a way that cannot be undone. You've sensed it coming. The tug in your heart. The way your path has felt unusually lonely, even while surrounded by others. The way your victories often felt disconnected from the people who should have celebrated the most. That wasn't your imagination. That was the prelude to a divine unveiling. Stay with this video until the very end, not just to hear what's coming, but to activate something powerful within you. There's a frequency in this message that was meant for you to absorb. And in the comments below, write your warmest wishes. What you want to see shift and seal it with the number 99. This isn't just a comment. It's a signal to the universe. A divine fingerprint left behind. When you leave that message, you're not just wishing. You're releasing energy that echoes through unseen corridors and opens doors that were always meant for you. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Chosen one. What if I told you that the family you were born into was only a starting point, not the final definition of who you are? What if I told you that your soul belongs to a lineage far greater than your earthly last name? You were placed in your birth family for reasons, but many of those reasons involve tests, molding, and separation. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were always different. Your real family, your divine family, is being revealed. And it's not just about blood. It's about spirit, calling, alignment, and heavenly orchestration. You are about to realize that everything you endured was part of the journey to reconnect you with those who are truly your people. You were born with royal essence, but raised in environments that didn't recognize your light. Not because you weren't shining, but because those around you had dimmed their own for so long that they could no longer recognize divine brilliance. But now the time has come for heaven to shift the room. For your true family, the one assigned to your destiny, to begin emerging around you. It may start subtly. A stranger who feels instantly familiar. A conversation that reaches into your soul. A new connection that understands you without explanation. These are not coincidences. These are wrestle recognitions. You are being drawn magnetically to your true tribe. That family that sees you, hears you, and honors the mission you were given. For so long, you tolerated being misunderstood. You tolerated invisibility. You tried to love people who were spiritually allergic to your purpose. And even though your heart gave without measure, it often returned empty. That ends now. You will no longer be hidden among people who can't see you. You will no longer be forced to shrink so others can feel tall. The divine is orchestrating a reunion, not of past ties but of future glory. You are being reunited with those who speak your language, not just your spoken words, but your soul language. Your legacy will not be built in isolation. Your destiny involves the unity of those who were chosen like you. Others who carry divine code within their spirit. And together you form a real family. Not by DNA but by divine alignment. Tomorrow everything changes. That's not just a poetic phrase, that's a prophetic truth. There's an energetic shift already in motion. You may not see it yet, but your spirit is picking it up. You're waking up with unfamiliar clarity. You're sensing a new authority in your steps. You're no longer questioning why things didn't work out with certain people. You're beginning to understand God was preserving your space for the ones who truly matter. There are people who were never meant to walk with you into this next dimension. No matter how long they've been in your life, definitely you're being aligned with now carries your frequency. They will not compete with you. They will not use you. They will not ask you to prove yourself. They will honor your essence the moment they meet you. That's what makes it real. That's what makes it divine. You're going to recognize them because when they speak, Your soul will respond. They will remind you of the truth you forgot during your wilderness seasons. They will speak life where others spoke doubt. They will protect what you carry because they understand how sacred it is. This is your real family. The ones you prayed for in silence when loneliness became unbearable. The ones God kept hidden until they appointed her, and now heaven is whispering, it's time. It's time for the misfit to find their circle. It's time for the warrior to find their army. It's time for the royal one to sit at the table they were always meant to lead. You were never supposed to be molded into the expectations of people who never understood you. That's why you were restless. That's why you felt misplaced. You were carrying too much purpose for environments that could only handle survival. But now you're stepping into a new alignment where your capacity is not just welcomed. It's required. You've been chosen to be part of a divine family, and each member is unlocking the others. When you rise, they rise. When you speak, they remember. When you show up, the frequency shifts. You are not late. You are right on time for this sec registering. This isn't a metaphor. It's a movement. Watch what happens next. Watch who reaches out. Watch who enters your life within the next 24 hours. Someone is being assigned to your orbit, not to test you, but to activate you.
Your divine family is being pulled together by a force no man can interfere with, and your presence in this shift is not accidental. You're part of the awakening. You're part of the reveal. The world may not know it yet, but heaven does. You're walking into a reunion that will resurrect your vision, recalibrate your faith, and restore your joy. This is about your real family, your soul-bound, purpose-connected, heaven-ordained family. You've always known there was something different about you. You sensed it even in childhood. The way your spirit responded to silence. The way your dreams carried visions that others couldn't understand. The way your heart felt emotions that others brushed as ideas too much. You weren't just sensitive. You were spiritually coded for something greater. But instead of being nurtured for that gift, you were often misunderstood, misdiagnosed, or even ridiculed. People told you to toughen up, to be more like them, to shrink your sheen so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. And so you did. You dulled yourself. You smiled through confusion. You carried burdens that weren't yours just to keep peace. But deep down you always knew this wasn't your true tribe. That knowing has never left you. It's been your quiet companion through every storm. It's whispered to you in your loneliest hours that the people around you didn't fully get it. They might have cared. They might have tried, but they weren't built to understand the divine wiring inside of you. They weren't your people, and that's okay. Because now, after all these years of wandering in the wilderness of misalignment, you are stepping into the city of self-connection. You're about to meet those who were sent to walk with you, not for a season, but for destiny. These people won't need years to understand you. They will see you instantly and speak the same spiritual dialect that your soul has longed to hear. Chosen 1. When your real family finds you, there's a peace that descends, Akam, knowing that this is where you belong. You don't have to explain your calling. You don't have to defend your sensitivity. You don't have to fight to be seen. You are received, you are respected, you are recognized. These are the ones who were hidden while you were being developed. They weren't late. They were being preserved. Because heaven does not deliver treasure into the wrong hands. And you, yes, you are treasure. You are the key to generational freedom, breakthrough, and abundance. But every key needs a lock. It's meant to fit. Your real family is that lock. They
are the ones who will open what's been sealed in your soul for far too long. They're not coming to complete you because you're already whole. They're coming to walk beside you, amplify you, and build alongside you. This is a shift from isolation to collaboration, from suspicion to spiritual security, from being the misunderstood black sheep to the honored lion among kings. You've done enough in survival mode. Now it's time to rise in legacy mode. And no legacy is ever built alone. That's why your alignment matters now more than ever. Because your real family is more than community. They're divine catalysts. They activate what others only observed. They see what you've been hiding. And instead of judging it, they pull it out and celebrate it. And here's the mystery. Some of these soul-aligned people may come from unexpected places. They may look nothing like what you pictured. They may arrive in unlikely forms through chance meetings, online messes, distant connections that suddenly feel closer than blood. But you'll know them not with your eyes, with your spirit. Your whole being will respond to their presence. Your anxiety will rest, your vision will sharpen, your voice will deepen in power. And y'all will no longer be tempted to dim yourself just to stay safe. Because with your real family, it's not just safe to shine. It's sacred, it's required, it's celebrated. Don't underestimate the subtle ways this shift will occur. It may begin with a nudge to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in years. It may come in the form of a divine encounter. A stranger who speaks something that echoes inside your chest like a memory from another realm. These are not coincidences. These are the signs. These are the first lights flickering on as your tribe begins to gather. Every divine family finds each other in perfect time. And guess what? Chosen one, that time is now. There is someone, perhaps even multiple people, are being awakened to your presence in this very hour. They may not even know your Nate, but something in their spirit has been activated. They've been praying for a sign, a leader, a partner, a reflection of what they carry inside. And heaven is pointing them to you. Don't be surprised when people suddenly feel drawn to you. Don't be shocked when conversations go deeper than you planned. Don't resist the urge to reach out or say yes to something new. You aren't going backward anymore. You're being summoned into divine reconnection. It's important to remember this divine family is not about comfort, it's a boot calling. These people won't let you settle, they won't let you shrink. They will challenge you with love, they will stretch you with honor. They will call out the greatness inside of you and remind you that mediocrity was never your destiny. These are the ones who will pray for you in secret, speak life into you when you're low, and war alongside you in the spirit when battles come. And in return, you'll do the same for them. Because this bond is mutual. This love is layered. This connection is holy. You've waited a long time for something real. Not perfect, not plastic, real. And now heaven is responding. The shift is no longer coming, it has begun. You are being pulled into alignment with your soul family. And the force behind it is unstoppable. Every time you said, I don't belong here, you were right. Because your place was being prepared elsewhere, among those who will recognize your essence before you even speak a word. So breath deep, chosen one. The days of being a stranger in your own story are ending. You are finally coming home. The closer you get to your divine family, the more you'll realize that what you thought was a detour was actually direction. Every heartbreak, every closed door, every silent season, every exile, it all led you here, right here, to this moment where the true meaning of family is no longer defined by DNA or duty, but by destiny and divine recognition. For so long you questioned the path. You wondered why you couldn't just fit in with the ones who were around you. You tried to bond over shared memories, but your spirit never fully settled. You tried to tolerate the disconnect, but the ache only deepened. You tried to normalize dysfunction, but your soul refused to agree. That wasn't failure, that was protection. Because what you were searching for could never be manufactured, it could only be discovered. And now, in this pivotal moment when tomorrow signals a full energetic shift, the discovery begins. Your heart will start recognizing people your eyes have only just seen. You'll notice conversations getting more meaningful. You'll notice how quickly time seems to stand still around certain individuals. These are spiritual timestamps. These are glimpses into your eternity connection. You'll start to say, I feel like I've known them forever. That's because you have on a spiritual plane long before this earthly timeline caught up. What's happening now isn't just a reunion. It's a remembering, a divine remembrance. Your soul is remembering its covenant, your spirit is remembering its origin, and your life is remembering its assignment. The truth is, the family you're entering into now will not just support you. They will inherit from you. You've been walking with treasures, revelations, ideas, anointings, and all of it has been waiting for the right people to receive it. You are not meant to pour into shallow ground. That's why your past generosity felt so draining. But this time it's different. You'll give and feel energized. You'll share and feel understood. You'll lead and feel followed, not out of obligation, but out of honor. This is the family that doesn't need your titles. They respond to your truth. And your truth is about to become the foundation of something eternal. These connections won't need to be forced. They won't require chasing. They won't be based on what you can do for them. Instead, they'll be built on resonance, alignment, mutual purpose. And when they speak, you'll feel like you're hearing yourself because they carry your echo. And when you move, they'll move. Not to copy you, but because they were born moving in the same rhythm. They were born with some beat inside their chest. It's the beat of the called, the beat of the faithful, the beat of the remnant, chosen one. Legacy isn't built in isolation. You've carried vision on your own for so long. You've almost forgotten what it feels like to be surrounded by those who actually get it. But that time is ending. You're about to be celebrated by people who aren't intimidated by your light. You're about to build with those who don't flinch at your truth. You're about to form unbreakable bonds with individuals who see your wounds, not as weakness, but as evidence of your sacred serval. These are people who've walked through their own fires and came out carrying water for yours. They know what teat feels like to be left behind, misunderstood, rejected. That's why they'll never do it to you. They are mirrors of your journey. Proof that your path wasn't in vain. This isn't a fantasy. This is the fulfillment of a divine sequence. One that began long before you even had words to describe what you were longing for. That ache in your chest, that wasn't just pain. That was memory. You were remembering what it feels like to be in the presence of your soul family. And now it's here. The vibration is rising. The veil is lifting. And tomorrow you will feel it in your bones. Something will click. Something will open. Something will pull you forward like gravity has been waiting for this exact second. You may be wondering, how do I know if they're a part of my real family? The answer is simple: peace. Not the kind that comes from silence, but the kind that silences every storm within. The kind that doesn't need to be explained. When you meet someone and your heart exhales for the first time in years, that's them. When your voice doesn't tremble around their presence, when you laugh without effort, when you don't feel the need to filter yourself, that's them. And when they look at you and don't just see you, they see what's inside of you. That's the mark. That's how you know. Because they're not just looking with their eyes. They're seeing with their spirit. They're seeing you the way heaven sees you. That's why you've been hidden for so long. Not because you were forgotten, but because heaven was waiting to bring the right people into the right season of your life. If the right people come in the wrong time, the bond breaks. If they arrive too early, they may misread your silence as emptiness. But now you are full. Now you are ready. Now you are aware. And the ones being drawn to you are too. They are no longer in their mature state. They've healed. They've transformed. And they've been prepared just like you have. And now you will find each other. Not because you're treeing, but because it's time. So prepare yourself. Prepare to feel seen in a way you never have before. Prepare to be held not just physically but spiritually. Prepare to laugh without fear, to speak without second guessing, to be celebrated without question. Because that's what happens when the divine family arrives. They don't just come into your life. They restore your memory. They reawaken your courage. They write the narrative that you were always too much. Because to them you are just right. And tomorrow everything changes. Chosen one, there's something sacred happening in your timeline. And while it may look invisible on the surface, the spiritual realm is already singing with confirmation. You're not walking into just another phase. You are stepping into the divine circle that was pre-written into your destiny. And while the world might still be waking up to your value, your real family, the one spiritually coded to recognize your greatness, already sees it, already feels. It already honors it. These are not ordinary connections. These are divine appointments. The ones who are coming into your life next will feel like breath after suffocation. Their presence will heal you without even trying. You won't need to explain your story. Your energy will speak it for you. You won't need to perform to be accepted. You'll be embraced for your essence. These aren't people you'll have to chase. They're already being drawn toward you by the gravity of divine time. That's why you've been feeling the urge to let go of what no longer resonates. That's why your discernment has become razor sharp. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's heaven making space. There are rooms you no longer fit in because your light is too expansive. There are conversations you can no longer endure because they feed your old self, not your ascended identity. That discomfort you feel isn't dysfunction. It's a divine indicator that your spirit is outgrowing the shell of former alignments. You've reached the point where anything less than soul-level resonance will feel like spiritual starvation. But your real family, they feed your spirit. They reflect your calling. They challenge your potential with love and provoke your greatness with respect. With them, you won't feel the need to translate yourself into a lesser language just to be understood. And what's remarkable is that many of them have been going through the same awakening you have. They too were misread, mislabeled, and misplaced. They too had to walk away from what was familiar to make room for what was ordained. Their tears mirrored yours. Their loneliness echoed yours. Their prayers traveled the same frequency. You've been orbiting each other's fields for a long time. But now you are converging, and that convergence will not just bless you emotionally. It will accelerate your destiny, chosen one. Some things can only be unlocked in community. Some assignments require the hands of many to hold what your heart has been carrying alone. For years, you've been a fortress. You've built silently. You've survived what would have crushed others. But survival is no longer your assignment. Thriving is, flourishing is, partnering in purpose is, and that's why our real family is showing up now, because you are no longer in the season of doing it all alone. There's a uniquery that's unlocked when chosen ones gather. When iron sharpens iron, when purpose meets purpose, when vision dances with vision, and that's what you're about to walk into. You're about to witness how everything you've built in the shadows is going to merge with what they've been cultivating in their shadows. You'll exchange wisdom like water. You'll build legacies with laughter. You'll speak life into each other without even realizing how rare your bond truly is.
Don't
dismiss the small signs. A name keeps repeating. A face appears in your dreams. A moment off stillness brings you flashes of faces you don't yet recognize in the natural. But you feel a deep longing toward them. That's your spirit preparing you. That's heaven initiating contact before the physical manifestation. When they arrive, there will be no doubt. Your posture will shift. Your eyes will soften. Your pace will finally feel aligned. Because real family doesn't rush or restrain. They rhythm with you. And the moment you lock eyes with one of them, something eternal will awaken. It may not be dramatic on the outside, but inside it will feel like a thunderclap, a remembering, a knowing, and when you speak, they'll nod. Not because you've explained it perfectly, but because their soul already agrees. You'll finish each other's thoughts, encourage each other's breakthroughs, and cover each other's blind spots. These aren't just friendships. These are divine commissions. So, tomorrow, as the sun rises, so will something within you. Don't be surprised if you feel different. Don't be alarmed if certain things suddenly feel off while others feel electrifyingly right. That's your calibration catching up to your assignment. That's your soul preparing to recognize what was hidden until now. You are not going crazy. You're becoming aware. Aware of who you really are. Aware of who you've really been waiting for. Aware that your story is not just yours. It belongs to a tribe, a movement, a royal family in the spirit. And when you step into that knowing universe, will respond. The right doors will open. Not because you begged, but because they were always coded to respond to your arrival. The right people will find you, not through manipulation or striving, but because their souls have been pulling you in all along. You don't have to do anything other than remain aligned, stay open, and trust what's unfolding. You're not too late. You didn't miss the moment. You are right on time for the greatest convergence of your life. You're about to walk into a room where every face feels like a reflection. You are about to hear voices that feel like hosts from another realm. You are about to find the ones who were looking for you all along. And yes, tomorrow it truly begins, chosen one. Hear this with the fullness of your spirit. What is coming to you is not a fragment, it's the fullness. It's not temporary relief. It's permanent alignment. You have walked through the fire alone. You have endured seasons of silence, surrounded by people who could not read your depth, feel your call, or carry your frequency. But that time has expired. The heaven shapes stamped this moment with irreversible change. And when tomorrow arrives, it will not be like yesterday. It will not echo the same cycles. It will not reopen the wounds. Tomorrow is a gate. And when you pass through it, the old connections will no longer hold weight, because your soul will no longer crave familiarity. It will crave truth, and your truth, dear one, is this. You were never meant to do this alone. The strength you displayed in isolation was divine evidence that you could hold weight. But the purpose ahead of you requires hands, hearts, and harmony. The divine family is not just a group of supporters. It is a prophetic circle. Each one assigned to your journey carries a divine ingredient. Some carry healing, some carry protection, some carry insight, some carry joy, some carry divine favor. And all of them, they carry love that does not have to be earned. Love that recognizes you immediately. Love that is not intimidated by your strength or confused by your softness. The moment you step into that environment, you'll feel your nervous system relax in ways it never has before. Because your body has been trained to brace, to anticipate rejection, to prepare for another exit, but not anymore. These new connections will disarm you. Not because they are perfect, but because they are honest. They won't lie to keep the peace. They won't flatter to stay close. They will speak truth even when it's sharp because they love your purpose more than their own comfort. This is maturity. This is unity. This is family. And when you find yourself laughing from the depths of your belly, laughing like you haven't in years, know this. You are healing. That is the language of divine safety. That is the sign that you've been found. You are not just reconnecting with people. You are reuniting with pieces of yourself, parts that were hidden, parts that you had to bury to survive. The child in you who still hoped, the warrior in you who still believed, the artist, the prophet, the visionary, the builder, the lover. They're all coming back because the people surrounding you now can finally hold them. You will no longer be too much. You will no longer apologize for your greatness. You will no longer feel guilt for your glow. Theons around you will clap before the crowd does. They will speak your name in rooms you've never stepped into. They will remind you even on your lowest day that you were born for this. Not out of pity, not out of debt, but out of revelation, because they don't just see your crown, they carry their own. And real recognizes real. The family you're stepping into has been waiting for you just as much as you've been waiting for them. Some of them have cried the same tears. Some of them prayed the same prayers. Some of them have been walking through their own deserts, believing they were alone, never knowing that you were on the other side of the storm. And now heaven is pulling you together with no force, no fear, no pressure, just grace, pure divine grace. You'll find that these people don't drain you. They don't expect you to lead all the time. They're not intimidated when you rise. In fact, they expect it. They've been sent to cover your blind spots, to fight battles you didn't know were behind. You to celebrate milestones with tears in their eyes, to speak your language even when you're too exhausted to explain. These are the people who will walk beside you when the spotlight turns off and the silence grows loud. The ones who will still show up, not for what you do, but for who you are. This is the season where loyalty is not loud, but proven, where alignment is not forced, but felt, where your family is not defined by blood, but by frequency and chosen one. Your frequency is no longer hidden. It's rising, it's calling in the others. They are hearing it, they are moving. They are coming, and you won't need to question their place. When they arrive, you will simply know. It will be written in the atmosphere, confirmed in your bones, sealed in the spirit. So walk into tomorrow like the heavens are watching, because they are. Walk with your head lifted, your eyes focused, and your heart open. Every delay now makes sense. Every rejection now feels divine. Every no you endured is about to be outnumbered by yeses you never expected, and every ounce of pain you carried. It's about to be answered with people, places, and moments that feel like home. You're not walking into a new day, you're walking into your destined tribe. You're not looking for approval anymore. You are now the standard. You're not just chosen, you are remembered. Tomorrow is not random. It is written. Music.